success is earned. Success is earned through hard work, dedication, grind, sweat, sacrifice for sure. And nothing is going to be given for free. Nothing's free. Just stay in the moment and just keep grinding. Adversity builds strength through struggle. I feel like if you don't have any adversity, you can't really build upon yourself and kind of move forward. Don't question God's plan, and everything's going to work out. Just keep trust.
Welcome back to the DJ Henderson podcast. I'm your host, DJ Henderson, and this is season 6. Man, it's been a journey. We've been at it for a little over a year, about a year and a half now, and I just really appreciate everybody that's been supporting the show. Even if this is your first time tuning in, I really appreciate the support. Season 6 is going to be a big season, a lot of high-level guests, but I just want to take the time to say thank you for tuning in and supporting the show. If you're not already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications so you never miss a show, drop a like and a comment down below. All those things will be greatly appreciated. They'll help me out, help the channel out, and continue to support the show in those ways. I really appreciate it, and we're going to get right to this episode. Let's get it. Travis Bates, welcome to the show.
Hey, DJ, how you doing? Appreciate you having me, dog.
Doing good, bro. I appreciate you coming on here, taking the time to do this. You just started season 6, episode 1. I appreciate you coming on here. It means a lot to me.
Yes, sir. No doubt.
Travis Bates, 3A Offensive Player of the Year, just recently announced. Congratulations on that. Talk to me about that, what it meant to receive that award.
I mean, no, it was great. Truly a blessing, just all the whole work being done, and I couldn't do it without my teammates and everybody supporting me, especially Coach Howell. He's the best man out there, best coach out there for sure.
Definitely. Travis Bates, you were born in Kansas City, but you grew up in Tampa, Florida. Talk to me about Kansas City and how you got here and what the city means to you.
Kansas City, it's always going to be home. I was born there. I just went back up there when I visited Kansas State, so that was cool seeing there. But just living in Tampa my whole life has really became my home, and building my friendships and connections really made it a place where I want to be forever.
Definitely. Obviously, you play football. You just recently signed to Duke University. How did you get into football in the first place?
So I've been playing football pretty much since I had a pull-up diaper, flag, tackle, both. And then I started at the 49ers and then played there for about a year, then went to the Colts.
For sure. The Colts, I remember, the Colts used to be like that. I never played TBYFL, but I remember Colts switched from TBYFL to Pop Warner a couple years before y'all got to Berkeley. Then y'all played Damien and you. Yeah, I already know how y'all boys used to get down for sure. What was your first football memory that you can remember? What's one of your favorite, Little League memories that you could remember?
I would probably say I was playing flag when I was 5. I vividly remember this. My coach got mad at me because he told me to run right when I got the handoff, but I ran left, but I still scored, so it was cool. That was my real first football memory. I always got made fun of because I didn't know my left and right, but I always scored, so it didn't matter.
I think you get a pass. You was 5. I definitely remember them days. I remember when I first got into football, I didn't play flag at all. I went straight to playing tackle because I didn't want to play flag. And I know my mom used to be scared for me out there because it was ages 5 to 8. So it was some 8-year-olds out there. I know she was a little worried, but yeah, I remember legit days playing football for sure. I used to play football before I started playing basketball. So definitely can relate to y'all boys a little piece. Obviously, you played football coming up, Little League, but when did you decide to take the game serious and lock in when you knew it was something that you wanted to do at a higher level?
I'd probably say around 6th grade when I started looking in kind of 6th, 7th grade when I really started looking into high school. I saw there was an opportunity. My body started developing. I started getting bigger, stronger, faster, and I kind of started learning the game a little quicker, and I could see myself really developing quicker than most other kids. So I thought, maybe I got a real chance and a real opportunity to make something for myself, make something for my family.
Definitely. When you started to lock in, what did those days look like? How did your work habits change, and what did those days kind of look like?
Oh, definitely changed completely. Working out twice a day, running routes, just perfecting my craft, watching way more football. YouTube's a great thing for me because I can watch NFL, college, all of it. And really just trying to sharpen that iron, just perfecting my craft and trying to understand the game even more.
Definitely. I feel like I call it YouTube University. I feel like anything that come to your mind, bro, I feel like nowadays you could just go figure it out. Watch anything on YouTube, put the time in. It's just like going to school. That's why I call it YouTube University. But I feel pretty much the same way. Basketball, business, school topics, anything you want to learn about more, you just
Exactly.
put time in and watch. You don't got to necessarily go read books all the time. That's what people would tell you a couple years ago. They'll say, oh, go read a book, this, and this. But really, all you got to do is go on YouTube and find what you want. So I definitely feel that for sure.
Sure.
After Little League, after middle school, you ended up going to Berkeley High School, Berkeley Prep. Talk to me about your experience when you first got there, what it was like when you first got there.
So it's definitely a culture change for sure. I had applied about a month before school started and somehow miraculously got in with Coach Sile and a few other people who helped me get connected through Berkeley. But that eighth grade experience was definitely a struggle. Academic wise, it was hard, but I mean, football was great. I mean, eighth grade, we went all the way, won the little the little championship they had. So that was awesome. And it kind of just set the foundation of like what I had to do to kind of progress through high school and keep that kind of foundation academically and also athletically to kind of strive to where I wanted to get.
Definitely feel that. I went to a charter school called TCMS. When I got there, it was an adjustment for me, just the level of work and stuff like that. Both of my brothers go to Berkeley now. I know Damian and Dylan both probably had a nice little adjustment when they got to Berkeley as far as academics and obviously just daily life there coming. It's not the same as where we always come from. So I definitely could feel that for sure. You talked about winning championship in eighth grade, setting the foundation for your future high school career. Talked about the great coach that Coach Sayo is. What was it like when you finally got to varsity? You were surrounded by other high-level players that were graduated before you, that were in the same class as you. What was it like just being on varsity, setting the tempo for that?
I mean, well, it was crazy. When I came in, we had Nicholas Petit-Frere, we had Maya Nahana, Joshua Youngblood, Jacob Hines, all great athletes and all great people. And it was just way different than anything I had experienced. Everyone's huge because you get that gap, like either freshman, sophomore, or junior, like y'all all play together. It doesn't matter how old you are. So seeing like that kind of competition, that size and that build kind of made me want to work even harder because I'm like, oh, I got to get bigger, stronger, faster so I can compete with these boys. And it was definitely hard at first, but once you get to learn the offense, defense, everything like that, it comes pretty easy. You just got to rely on your athletic ability.
For sure. I feel like that's an advantage and somewhat of a disadvantage also in some cases being there, not having a JV team. When I first got around, like obviously I didn't go there, but when I saw that my brothers were going there and I started seeing that there wasn't a JV team, I kind of was like, it's kind of tough that freshmen, most of the time, if you're not big enough, physically ready, you're not going to be able to get on the field really playing against obviously 18, 19-year-olds, seniors, stuff like that. But also in practice, you get to compete against the older guys and you get to learn your way, work your way up. So I think it could go both ways depending on how you look at it. Obviously, I'm sure there's people that in some cases don't take it as serious because they're not getting the opportunities that they want. But people like you, like I feel like if you got your mind on straight and you're willing to just put the time in and stay dedicated, wait for your turn, then I feel like that's definitely a perfect place to be, really.
For sure, for sure.
If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show. You talked about being around Josh, Nick, all those guys, but they were like the leaders, the older, the upperclassmen. Now you're a senior. You had your junior year last year, obviously. What was it like just developing as a leader, growing your game, just becoming a better player, a better person over the years?
Definitely listening to Coach Sile because he preaches it every day. Being a leader, he'd have me come to his office, just talk about the past players, like how the torch has been passed us. And really, it just came clear to me. I was like, oh, this is my team now. I got to lead these boys. If I want to get to the state championship, then I got to be a leader on this team, and I got to get everyone to buy into the program.
Definitely. I feel like my high school coach, his name's Coach Tommy Tonelli. He coached at Wharton High School. Him and Coach Sayo, they're pretty good friends, and I feel like it's kind of the same. Anytime I talk to any of you guys, I had TJ on here a couple weeks ago, and he talked about the same kind of thing. I talked to Damian. Anybody really that could talk about Coach Sayo, it's always good things, and it's always him giving wisdom, just being a good coach. I feel like my coach is pretty similar. Yeah, I definitely feel like I could relate to that for sure. Your senior year just ended recently. Talk to me about just the whole season, how you guys started before the season, got ready for the season, and what your senior year season was like.
Senior year, it was a movie for sure. Last year we were kind of like we were separated because of COVID-19. We didn't get to start till like everyone else was about 4 games deep. But this year we all got to be together. We all got to build that camaraderie, got to grind and sweat together and blood together. And I feel like that really built the foundation of how we got to the state championship. It was really just the togetherness that we had throughout the team. Everyone really bought into the program, and we had a great group of seniors. We have like 12 out of 16 seniors going D1, and that just tells you about our work ethic and how we carry ourselves as individuals and athletes.
What was it like being around that level of players? Because like we said before, you guys had good players before in the past, high-level players, high-level guys, but this year you guys had so many graduating with you. These are the guys that you came into school with, you've been with for 4 years, seeing everybody grow, them seeing you grow. Like, talk to me about that.
That's been crazy. I mean, like, we all kind of got that same kind of work ethic. So even like I said, last year with COVID, we'd have a group of guys at the park or at Skyway or some other field, always putting in work, catching balls, doing drills, doing conditioning. So we all kind of like built upon each other, which I feel like made us such a good group because we all held each other accountable for putting in work and not like getting lackadaisical.
For sure. I definitely remember, obviously, you guys had a solid season last year, even with the adversity. You guys lost in the playoffs. But I remember, like, I came home from college, and I remember it was COVID time. My mom was strict on us about going out and stuff. I remember, obviously, I don't know exactly where DJ lives, but I remember specifically, like, Damien would be going out to the field around our house somewhere, working out with DJ. I was like, I'm sure all these other guys on their team doing the same kind of things where they are. So I think I kind of could tell you guys will have a good season. I can't say that I knew y'all would go to the state championship, but I'm glad that y'all were able to do that. First time in Berkeley history, I'm pretty sure. I'm definitely happy for you guys. Obviously, it didn't end how you wanted it to, but even just the chance to be in the state championship, a lot of people don't even get the opportunity to make it there. So definitely happy for you guys, and I know you guys are happy for yourself for sure.
Yeah, no doubt.
You just signed to Duke recently. Signing day just passed. Like you said, a lot of your teammates signed. Your recruiting process wasn't always on the up and up. Talk to me about your recruiting process and how that went.
So kind of relating back to, again, I don't want to blame anything, but COVID for sure. People always say COVID kind of messed up our class a little bit, and especially the previous class. And it affected my process just a little bit, but I knew I had a goal of that state championship, getting there. So I always kept God's plan in my mind. So it really never came to me that recruiting or like any type of like the future level was going to be an issue for me. I kind of just kept my head down, grinding, getting better, perfecting my craft, and kind of put all my focus and my mind to the season.
Definitely. I remember when I first started coming around, I didn't really know who you were, but I remember seeing you last year. I seen you having big games and stuff, and I was just like, who is this guy? I didn't know if you had anything going on recruiting, but I was trying to figure out why you didn't. So I personally felt like you were overlooked. Talk to me about when you kind of got your just due, when all your hard work started to pay off and when you started to get on the scene.
So I believe my first offer was right after my junior season was for the FAU. And then it kind of built through. I got a few more, like Colorado State, kind of like that Mountain West Conference. I got a few American Conference offers. I got some Ivy Leagues because of the Berkeley name. And then I got a few Patriot Leagues, but it never really got past really that American Conference to that Power 5 level. Until after this past season, I received K-State, which was a crazy moment for me. And then after that, it kind of just shot off from there. One was getting blown up, and I ended up taking four visits to Air Force, Temple, Duke, and Kansas State. And those ended up being the schools I focused on. And it kind of went up from there.
For sure. What were some of the things, obviously you committed to Duke, what were those visits like, the ones that you went on, and what were some of the things that made Duke stand out to you?
So Duke was my last visit, actually. I went to Air Force first, and then Temple, and then Kansas State. They were all pretty, I would say it really came down to K-State and Duke. Temple had no shame on them. They had a great coaching staff. They had a great program. and I know that head coach is going to do well. But something that Duke stood out for me was, I mean, when I got to Duke, I just felt really at home. I camped there actually 2 years ago, my sophomore year, and I just loved it. And me and Coach Sy were talking. He was like, if I told you at Duke at the end of this process, you would be pretty happy with yourself. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I'd be pretty satisfied. Because, I mean, not only the education, but, like, Duke itself is just a great place. It's a great area. I feel like that football team is definitely going to shoot up. I know they've had some off years, but we got a new head coach, Coach Elka. He's a great guy, integrating the football team in the Durham community and really trying to make a name for us so we can get more people to the game and get some more support. And I feel like that culture that they have is just going to skyrocket these next few years on there.
Definitely. I think, obviously, that's one of the highest levels you could possibly be at ACC. You playing against Clemson, Florida State, Syracuse, all those kind of schools. I think it was because you retweeted it, but I saw your coach at one of the basketball games talking to the crowd, talking about getting the guys out or getting people out to your game. So I definitely think just a new coach, maybe new energy, a different kind of vibe, that might be something that might be what you guys need to just take it to the next level. Obviously, people know Duke for basketball, but I think it's an ACC school, has all the resources, probably a good amount more in a lot of cases. I know Duke basketball, like when they post their Duke Blue Pennant videos and I see their facilities and stuff like that, I know it's crazy. So I know football is somewhere near there. So I hope you are able to be a part of taking that to the next level for sure. If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show.
Yeah, no doubt.
What would be some of the best recruiting advice you would get to somebody that's up and coming, that's trying to make it to where you are or play at the next level, period?
Definitely, you just got to keep your head down. You can't be questioning the process because, unfortunately, with football and especially going to the next level, you have zero control over it. The only thing you can control is putting in work and performing to your best ability. So if you don't focus on that and you only focus on the process, then you're putting yourself in the dirt, to be honest. So if you keep your head down, just grind, put in the work, condition, lift weights, get in the weight room, just do you for as long as you can, then everything will work out for sure.
Definitely. Obviously, you're in the off season right now. Season just wrapped up a couple of weeks ago. What are some of the things that you personally feel like you need to work on the most or you want to improve on, fine tune before you leave to go to Duke?
Definitely right now we're focusing on just the weight room and getting explosive, kind of just working on my form when I run, make sure I'm conditioned because that's a big part, especially in the college football world, and just being able to maintain that top speed for as long as possible.
Who are a couple running backs that you like to watch? I know you watch a lot of film. Who are some people you study that you like their game, you kind of try to implement things, or just your favorite guys to watch in the league and college, just people you like to tune into?
For sure. Definitely my first running back I ever watched was Reggie Bush. First jersey I ever had. He is a freak. Dude can do anything on the field. He's explosive, he's fast, he's quick, he's twitchy, make any type of cuts, run people over, crazy. Marshawn Lynch, he was the GOAT back in the day. I would say Najee Harris, he's upcoming, he's new, and he's a crazy athlete, and he's so athletic. Who else would I say? So we got Marshawn Lynch, Reggie Bush. Who else? It's crazy. I like college Leonard Fournette was crazy. College Leonard Fournette, that was my guy. He's a freak of nature. And then everybody know Bo Jackson. He's a GOAT. He's number one, Bo Jackson. Sure.
All right. Now we're going to go to the last part of the show. I like to call it crunch time. We as athletes, we know crunch time, that's ending the games. Towards the end, you got to lock in, do what you got to do, close out games. So there's going to be just a couple of questions just to wrap the show up.
For sure.
What's the biggest obstacle that you've had to face so far, just getting to this point where you are today?
The biggest obstacle I'd say is probably just, like I said before, the process is it's out of your control, but it's still something when you dream about it, it's something that you gotta still keep you still have it in the back of your mind. So kind of being stress free about the whole thing, and kind of just focusing on the main goal in my season, instead of kind of looking kind of past. Staying in the present was probably one of the hardest things.
If you could go back in time and tell your younger self some key piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
Just stay in the moment and just keep grinding. Don't go watch no TV. Stay outside, keep moving. Don't question God's plan, and everything's gonna work out. Just keep trust.
Definitely. What's something that a random person wouldn't know about you, but your close friends, your family, they know about you?
I'm big on Michael Jackson. That's my guy. I do that Michael Jackson experience. I get down with it. 5 stars every time.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, for sure.
I remember that's probably the only reason I know. Like, obviously, I know some Michael Jackson songs, but I know every song on that game. That game was serious when it first came out.
Real talk.
That game was definitely serious. What's 1 to 2 quotes that you just take with you all the time that help you get through your days that you live by?
Definitely adversity builds strength through struggle. Because I feel like if you don't have any adversity, you can't really build upon yourself and kind of move forward. And definitely, like I said earlier, it's really just trusting God's plan. That's real big for me. And a delay is really not a denial. Just because something might not happen right when you want it doesn't mean it's cut off completely or it'll never happen.
Sure. I read somewhere, I think it was on social media somewhere. I try to follow pages that put out good energy and stuff, because obviously you tell yourself, oh, don't be on your phone too much, don't be on social media too much, but like it's just so accessible nowadays. I feel like it could be an advantage just to follow the right pages, trying to learn stuff, getting good energy. And I seen somewhere that it said, like, when you don't get something that you necessarily want at the time, he might know that you're not ready for what you're asking for. So you might have to just go through something or keep putting in the time or whatever the case till you get to where you want to be. I think that's definitely real. I think a lot of times people just want things instantly and might not be ready for it necessarily.
Yeah, no doubt. No, that's 100%. Can't agree more.
What's your why? What keeps you motivated, keeps you striving for greatness every day, even though you've accomplished a lot?
Oh, definitely my mom's. She's definitely a key factor. I see how hard she worked and what she's done and how she's developed from her first job to what she is now and what we came from. It's just a big inspiration because I know she works the hardest and she's doing it by herself, which inspires me even more. That's crazy. I can never imagine that. And she's just my true inspiration. And she's like a mentor to me.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Hopefully still playing ball, either college or after that. But definitely just trying to be as successful as I can, trying to change people's lives. But just making a difference in the world for sure.
Definitely. What's the best piece of advice that you've ever received from somebody, a mentor, family, a friend? What's something that just sticks with you?
Probably just success is earned. Success is earned through hard work, dedication, grind, sweat, sacrifice for sure. And nothing is going to be given for free. Nothing's free. Nothing's free in life.
Definitely. I had an economics teacher, definitely somebody that changed my perspective on life a lot. One of those teachers, I know you had a teacher before that kind of don't teach by the book. They teach kind of just from what they know. Yeah. And he used to say something. He said, no free lunch. Like it's no free lunch. That's something that stuck with me all the time. Nothing free in life for sure. If you could meet and spend a day with 3 people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
It's funny because your brother asked me this question the other day.
You want to be like me so bad.
Definitely Muhammad Ali for sure. Ray Lewis. And let's see. Probably J. Cole.
Solid. That's a solid 3 right there.
For sure.
First Ray Lewis ever on the show, so you were first for that. I'll be keeping tabs on the 3 people say. That's a solid 3 right there. Muhammad Ali, a lot of people say him. J. Cole, I think a couple of people probably say him, not too many. But yeah, Ray Lewis, that's the first. Definitely all legends for sure. So
yeah, no doubt.
Rocking with that list. Last question. Whoever you say, you got to help me get him on the show. Who's somebody you think I should have on here next?
You got to have my boy Xavier or Trey Reader on here. Xavier Townsend or Trey Reader, for sure.
I need X on here, bro. Everybody, I done had people say X every time at the end of the show. Gotta reach out, gotta get him on here. Trey Reader, nobody said him yet, but definitely look forward to possibly having the opportunity to do that too. I'm trying to get all y'all on here. I really want to do something in person with all y'all boys. Hopefully, like this summer before y'all go to school or something. So definitely. But Trey Reader, X, if y'all see this, come chop it up with me. Don't be scared. Need to hear from y'all boys. It will mean a lot to me for sure. Travis Bates, Duke football. I almost said Duke softball. Shout out to Christina, Duke softball.
Yeah.
Travis Bates, Duke football. Appreciate you coming on here again, bro. It really mean a lot to me. Is there any last things, any last words, motivation, anything you want to leave with anybody that's tuned in?
Go Blue Devils. That's it, man.
For sure. I'm a Duke football fan, Duke softball fan. Go Duke Blue Devils. Travis, tell everybody where they can find you. Any social media you want to plug in?
On Instagram, trav.bates. And same thing on Snap, trav.bates.
Yeah, you different. You got to keep my eyes on you. You different. You plugging your Snapchat in?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Travis, it mean a lot to me, bro. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. It mean a lot to me for sure.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate you. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's it for this episode. See y'all on the next episode.
Hey.
If you're tuned into this show through YouTube, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody you think should tune in. If you're listening to the show through a podcast service or a streaming website, please subscribe to the show, leave a 5-star rating, and leave a review. Leave your thoughts down below on what you think about the show.